It seems like you guys really love hearing me talk about the executive office, especially the weird ones who have tried to pursue the nation's highest bid. Never fear everyone, today I, Larry Zeepsterd, will explore a series of bizarre presidential candidates who I believe need at least a little more notoriety due to their bizarre exploits. Keep in mind, I already covered Vermin Supreme in another video, but don't get me wrong, he's still incredible.
Right, Vermin Supreme, friendly fascist, tyrant you can trust. Let me run your life, I know what is best for you!
This will be a nice change of pace from my recent iceberg videos. But don't get me wrong, if you love those, there will probably be a new one by next week. Before we continue, make sure to hit subscribe because wow, look at that sub to not subbed ratio when it comes to people who watch my videos. I appreciate you watching, but let's get that subscribe number up. Thanks everyone. Let us begin with the weirdness. In 2008, Cynthia McKinney, who had previously served 6 terms in the US House of Representatives, made headlines when she earned the Green Party nomination in 2008. I mean, it would have been fine if it weren't for the fact that literally 3 years prior, she tried to pass a bill that asked for the government to release top secret records surrounding Tupac Shakur's death. You know what? I could actually respect that. At least she probably knows more about Tupac than our current vice president.
And then, best rapper alive.
Tupac.
He's not. You say he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep doing that.
You said, listen, West Coast girls think Tupac lives on. I'm with you. I'm with you. So Tupac, keep going.
I keep doing that.
I'm just playing around, but anyways, I'm fine with McKinney's Tupac bill. It would have probably done more good than anything Congress has passed within the past few decades. But I would like to mention that Miss McKinney is strange in her theories. I mean, for example, she suggested that the government unlawfully executed 5,000 men following Hurricane Katrina and dumped all of their bodies in a Louisiana swamp. What? Her source, you may ask? Well, according to her, she was told about this via phone call from a, quote, reliable source, unquote. Amazing. Jonathan Sharkey looks like a knockoff version of Justin Wang. Sharkey ran for the Republican nomination in 2012 and is a former professional wrestler. In Sharkey's lifetime, he's run for president multiple times. While researching him, I stumbled upon Peak 2008 YouTube. So since the song used in the background is copyrighted, I'll just show you the screen caps. Say hello to your next president, Jonathan Sharkey of the VWP Party, the Vampires, Witches, and Pagans Party. Tired of guys like these? As president, former wrestler Jonathan the Impaler Sharkey promises to impale all terrorists. Sick of these guys calling the shots? Sharkey plans to replace the entire Supreme Court with former Minnesota Viking Alan Page. Okay, this is awesome. As you may have guessed, Sharkey is a self-proclaimed vampire and primarily drinks the blood of women because, to quote him, women are beautiful and they have such beautiful necks and arms.
Well, whose blood do you feed on and how do you do that and why?
Vampires, as you know, feed off of other people's energy. Some feed off of blood, some feed off of emotions. I choose to feed off of blood.
Well, I mean,
it's a very healthy thing to do.
It may be healthy, but I think it's gonna scare a lot of voters. I mean, the idea you could be elected and go around biting people. I mean, where do you get the blood, and is it voluntary donations or what?
You'd be surprised how many women have come up to me, especially when I hang out in New York City, wanting to be bit. I'm talking sophisticated, very rich women who enjoy the lure of being romanced by a vampire.
Jonathan, I live in the area. I would not be surprised at all.
Cool, Sharkey. To make things even stranger, Sharkey was investigated by the Secret Service after threatening to impale President W. Not only that, but he's accused of brainwashing a 16-year-old whose family now has a restraining order against him. Truly a special case. You know, besides the Green and Libertarian parties, there have been even stranger third parties to come up in United States history, such as the case of the Theocratic Party led by Homer A. Tomlinson. For 5 straight elections, he put his name on the presidential ballot from 1952 to 1968, and under his Theocratic Party, he followed the word of the Bible. If elected, he would have added the cabinet post, Secretary of Righteousness, and the post, Secretary of the Holy Bible, which I'm pretty sure would be against the Constitution Constitution, you know, the whole idea of separation of church and state. Following multiple losses, he elected himself king of the world, and would display a painted gold crown wherever he went. And according to the research, quote, he ruled from a hotel room in Jerusalem with a folding chair at his throne, unquote. What a sick dude. Roseanne Barr. Yeah, remember Roseanne? She had a show in the late 80s to early 90s and also had a comeback with it in 2018. However, the same year of her show's resurgence, it was cancelled following Barr's tweet about a former Obama aide calling them the offspring of the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. What the hell? In 2012, she was considering running for president under the Green Tea Party. Not to be confused with the Green Party, the Green Tea Party essentially promotes conservatism, but with an embracement of clean energy. Barr wanted to promote mental health and meditation as key policy proposals, but also promised one more thing that was interesting to say the least. I'm sure this is a joke, but I'm still going to humor it. She wanted to send Wall Street bankers into re-education camps and be executed by beheading. What a gal. So like, would they be first re-educated and then executed, despite the rehabilitation as a normal person with feelings, or what? I'm a little confused at the process here. In 1982, dentist Jack Shepard set fire to a Minneapolis building in which his dental office and home was held. Ever since then, he's been a convicted felon and a fugitive from the law, choosing to reside in Rome. If he ever steps foot within the United States ever again, he will be arrested and then convicted. However, that has not stopped him from running for president on multiple occasions. Shepard, at least according to my research, is the only person to run for president while also simultaneously running from the law. He's done it a total of 2 times. To make matters worse, he's had his dentist license revoked for, and I'm quoting here so this can mean anything, a string of several violent incidents. Dentists should be feared. You know, my home state of California is the harbor to a total of 53 members of the House of Representatives. With so many members, there are bound to be a couple oddballs. For example, Duncan Hunter, a Republican representative, once pled guilty to misusing over $250,000 in campaign funds, including using over $1,500 on Steam games. What a guy. Hell, the guy even vaped. But if you want to go farther back in the state's history, we can go to Representative John G Schmitt. He ran on the American Independent Party ticket in 1972, and even managed to get 10% of the vote in Idaho. He was incredibly anti-communist. He could almost give Joseph McCarthy a run for his money. In fact, when President Nixon went to China, he repeatedly objected to him coming back. I guess Nixon was somehow tainted by communism by merely stepping foot into China. His career tanked after it came out that he was having an affair, but his family's legacy didn't end there. Mary Kay Letourneau, his daughter, was accused and convicted for having relations with a 12-year-old student. Following her prison time, she would later marry and have children with said student. So weird. Gabriel Greene ran for president during the 1960 and 1972 presidential elections. He described himself as a great negotiator, especially with extraterrestrials. You heard that right. Greene had claimed that he had made contact with aliens before, Nordic aliens at that. To make it clear, he had made a series of interesting statements. He had claimed to have graduated from UC Berkeley with a PhD in physics, but the university has no record of his attendance. Not only that, he had claimed that he had a meeting with a flying saucer crewman from the unknown planet of Corridor, stating that he was able to maintain contact with these others via telegraphic links. When he ran in 1960, he ran under the Universal Flying Saucer Party, stating that he would disclose the existence of extraterrestrials if he were to be elected. Gabriel Greene, your candidacy was definitely far out of this world. To cap off the list, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite rappers of all time, Mr. Kanye West. One of the biggest news stories in 2020, Mr. West announced his run for president on Independence Day. To many, they thought it was all a joke, but in fact, he was being serious. Dead serious. He was running under the birthday party, because according to him, if he were to be elected, it would be everyone's birthdays every day. Policies included a reformation of the legal system, a cut to military budget, and a restoration of school prayer in the American education system, just to name a few. Of course he didn't win, but at least he faced defeat with a smile. He also had a very interesting speech. I believe he's going to run again in 2024, but he may have a better chance if he ran under one of the two major parties. Could you imagine West on the debate stage? Now that would be an amazing sight to see. In reality, Mr. West needs help, and I sincerely hope he gets it. These past few years have not been good for him, and the recent reports that Kim Kardashian is divorcing him will prove to bring him down even further. I'm rooting for you to get better, Kanye. Who are some weird candidates I failed to mention? If you have one, comment below and help inform me. I genuinely want to know. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. Zeepstirred out.